was enjoying my perfect Friday night, watching my favorite YouTuber's latest video, when it got interrupted by a phone call. "Tessa, the cops arrested me! Dress as my mom and come bail me out!" That was Katie, my annoying cousin. She's the biggest troublemaker I know, which is why my aunt sent her to live at my house, in hopes that we could help change her attitude. Poof! So now I have to sneak into Mom's closet and borrow some of her clothes. How do I apply makeup to look older? Ugh, that'll have to do. "So, officer, what trouble's she in this time?" "She vandalized a car." "Not me, Mom. Blame the dumb car that got in my way." Jeez, if I were really Katie's mom, I would let her rot in jail until she came to her senses. I was about to lead Katie out of there when a boy grinned at me and said, "Madam, can you bail me out too?" "Sorry, but no. You're not my problem." "Okay, well, then can you at least give me your number?" I spotted Katie frown at him, then she pulled on my arm. "Let's go home, Mom." "Katie, can't you grow up? I can't cover for you forever." "You'll do it, else I may just accidentally slip out your little secrets to your parents." Ugh, that threat sure is getting old. Okay, so I didn't bail out Katie out of choice. You see, she has something over me. The thing is, I have a passion for baking, but my parents think this is a waste of time. I knew they'd never knowingly pay for my cooking classes, so I told them I needed money to join an extra study class. I know it sounds bad, but I did apply to work at a coffee shop bakery so I could pay them back while also gaining experience. But then Katie discovered my secret, and now she's using it to control me. Then, just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, I arrived home to find my parents waiting up for me in the living room. "Tessa, you were out partying, weren't you? Why do you keep on disobeying us? And is that my dress? Why can't you be more like Katie? She's really improved her grades." I turned around to see that Katie was nowhere to be seen. She must have quickly escaped through the back door to her room. What a minx! But my parents still believed she's the golden girl. Poof! It's rubbish, of course. The good grades she brought home were all by cheating. If it weren't for Katie knowing my secret, I so would have exposed her by now. Actually, besides Katie, there's also Celia, my best friend, who also knows about this. She may be a hothead, but when it comes to my secrets, I know her lips are sealed. "Hey, Tessa, you have to see this." Celia waved her phone in my face. Hang on, that was 𝗕𝗔𝗦𝗘𝗦𝗏, my all-time fave YouTube channel. I'd been following this guy for ages. He was so talented. Oh, and he always wore this cute kitty mask. Look at his hands. They're so beautiful. And how I adore his warm voice. I bet he's really handsome too. Celia is so smitten with boys. Ugh, it's Katie again. She's left her lipstick in the canteen and I've got to fetch it for her and take it to some cafe in town. This is ridiculous. I'm sure she could survive without her stupid lipstick for one afternoon. I walked into the cafe and spotted Katie sitting with two boys. Wasn't that the boy from the cop station? Turns out he's called Max, and he's Katie's new boyfriend. And the other guy is Cody. Both of them are college students. "Hey, Tessa, you should stay for cake." Seeing as I was here, I may as well have something sweet, right? So I ignored Katie's eye rolls in my direction and joined them. The waiter brought some chocolate fudge cake over and, yum, it sure looked good. I took a forkful of it and, something wasn't quite right. This cake could use some salted caramel. Poof, a cake needs to keep its original flavor. If you add that to it, it'll be far too sweet. Oh, how rude. I was only voicing my opinion. Right at that moment, Celia phoned me. I just answered when she started screaming so loudly, and I had to hold my phone away from my ear. "Tessa, Tessa, Tessa!" "Celia, is everything okay?" "I know how to impress the 𝗕𝗔𝗦𝗏𝗡𝗏 guy. We must make him a DIY gift. A chocolate resin phone case. What do you think? Am I a genius or what?" I noticed Max, Cody, and Katie all giving me strange looks. Jeez, this was so embarrassing. So I quickly hung up on Celia, then made my excuse to leave. Ugh. I liked it better when only I knew about 𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗠𝗘. I watch his videos every day and daydream about baking with him. But now Celia's obsession over him was kinda tiring me out. She texted me non-stop to ramble about him and dragged me into her silly fan projects. She even joined this online fan club of his, and they all talked about how fit he looks, how handsome he must be. Hello, does anyone here really care about cooking? At least work meant I had a break from Celia's mithering. Ugh. What was he doing here? He bought 2 cups of coffee, then asked to borrow my phone because his was out of battery. I reluctantly handed over my precious phone, but then I heard a ringtone. Max excitedly took his ringing phone out of his pocket and said, "So now I have your phone number, cute girl." What? The cheek of him! I'm his girlfriend's cousin. Has he no shame? I gave him a dumbfounded look, but he just smiled, handed back my phone, and winked at me. "I saved my number in your phone. Give me a call." Then he left. He'd just reached the door when I snapped out of my daze. The phone case. Our chocolate phone case. Why did he have it? It's one of a kind, and we've already sent it to 𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫, didn't we? I was about to run after him to clear this up when Katie appeared. "Max, why did it take you so long to buy coffee?" Then she stormed over to the counter as soon as she spotted me. "Stay away from my boyfriend, or your secret goes parent public, okay?" Katie glared at me and dragged Max away. Even though they were leaving, I could still hear her voice. "Don't talk to that girl. I don't like her." Huh? What on earth? Who wants her boyfriend anyway? How irritating. One evening, I was lying on the couch and thinking about whether Max could really be 𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫 when Celia excitedly ran over. "I have our mysterious idol's phone number!" Oh no, here we go again. Celia was way too excitable sometimes. "So, a secret source that's in the fandom sent it to me. I wonder if this is his real number." You really believe that's 𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗠𝗘's number? Let's just give it a try. We have nothing to lose. It would be a lie to say I wasn't any tiny bit curious. So I entered the phone number, and as soon as I pressed the call, Max's name appeared on the screen. Huh? What's this? I quickly hung up and turned to tell Celia that it was just a fake number. If Max is really our idol, then I don't want Celia getting muddled up with my crazy cousin's love life. Celia just shrugged and said, "It's okay, I'll find another way." Then she did that sticking tongue-out concentration face of hers as she fiddled around on her phone. The next day, I got home from my shift feeling a little worn out, but Celia still wouldn't give me a break. She came right over and dragged me out somewhere. "Where are we going?" I asked, but Celia just kept silent. Then we stopped in front of a small white house. At that point, Celia said, "My source says this is 𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫's home. We're about to meet the most amazing guy ever!" Before I could react, Celia ran to ring the doorbell. And as soon as the door opened, standing in front of us were Max and Katie. "Tessa, why are you here?" "You know him?" This is Max, Katie's boyfriend. We were on our way to a friend's party, but it seems like we have the wrong house. Sorry for bothering you." Then I hurriedly pulled Celia's hand to leave. But Max stopped us. "Oh yeah? Then you must have come to the right house. We're having a party, so join us." I quickly waved my hand to refuse, but Celia immediately said, "That would be great!" And then, ignoring Katie's death stares, pulled me inside. So turns out Max lives here with Cody and this guy called Trevor. I'll find out which of these 3 boys is our idol. Wait for it. Celia made up some excuse about loving their decor and wanting to see the rest of it for inspiration. Trevor, who seemed to like her, jumped at the opportunity to show her around. Meanwhile, I wandered into the kitchen to try and solve the 𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫 mystery myself. Max was in there making himself an egg sandwich, but oh my god, Had he never touched a whisk before? He's so clumsy. I don't think there would be much of the egg left in the bowl after he's done whisking. The kitchen counter was full of food for the party, so I decided to give them a hand. Let's see. I spotted a bowl of cookie mixture, which looked like it could use some special ingredient, so I reached for the jar of sugar. And as expected, a hand stopped me. But, Cody? What are you doing? You use brown sugar for cookies, not white. You don't want to end up with a load of air pockets, do you? Yes, of course I knew that. And I also knew 𝗏𝗘𝗧 had once said those exact words in one of his previous clips. So, the anonymous idol is Cody? But Max's phone case was the one we sent to our idol, and the idol's phone number that Celia found was also Max's. This was so confusing, and I needed answers, so I asked Max to go outside with me. You aren't 𝗏𝗘𝗖𝗓𝗏𝗡, right? Why do you have that phone case? Oh, so you figured it out! Yeah, I know you sent it to Cody, so I intercepted it. I'm also the anonymous fan who gave Celia this address. It's fate, baby. You and me are meant to be together. Then he lunged towards me with outstretched arms. Oh my god, did he have tentacle arms or something? I couldn't escape from his grip. Then who should appear but, yep, Katie. She charged over, then pushed me, falling to the ground. Cody appeared and tried to stop the fight, but Katie's flailing arms knocked into him and caused his wrist to brush against the hot barbecue grill. I quickly went to check on Cody, but Katie just screamed out, "I hate you!" then ran off with a shameless Max in hot pursuit. We then went to Cody's room to get the first aid box. Hang on, I recognize that mask. Don't worry, I'll keep your secret, but maybe this arm shouldn't be on screen for a while. Celia has like the best detective sense. Yeah, I guess. I'm thinking maybe a cute girl like you should wear the cat mask for the next few videos. What do you think? Are you sure? Your fans might speculate that the girl would have some kind of special relationship with you. Gosh, what am I saying? Wake up, Tessa! I should go. Right, there's something important waiting for me to handle at home. What a messy day! I couldn't carry on being under Katie's control any longer. I needed to confess all to my parents before she told them. Only, when I walked through the door, I heard these weird sounds coming from the living room. It was Katie bawling her eyes out on the couch. I ignored her and was about to go upstairs, but suddenly, she ran over to me and hugged me. Tessa, I'm so sorry for pushing you. I never meant for anyone to get hurt. I just really love Max, and it breaks my heart knowing he's such a womanizer. It's okay, but you seriously deserve way better than that jerk. So Katie and I made up, and she also promised that she wouldn't blab my secret to my parents. But I want to tell them the truth. I mean, I can't lie to them forever, right? And when they see how much baking means to me, they'll support me, right? Hey guys, so I entered a baking contest and invited my parents along. And guess what? I won the Best Newcomer prize! Eek! Better still, my parents congratulated me and told me that if I loved baking this much, I should follow my dreams. Oh, and I did use the prize money from the contest to pay them back. Cody's been a massive help. He's given me some great tips and, actually, we've started dating. It's early days, but being with him makes me feel as happy as eating freshly made cookies. And as for Celia, well, she's still pretty convinced that Trevor's her idol. One day I'll introduce her to the real 𝗏𝗘𝗖𝗓𝗏𝗡.
Hi, my name is Meryl, and I'm from Germany. Please like and subscribe to MSA. I was born to parents who were rich. So rich that we had several maids, chefs, butlers, and drivers who worked around the clock for me and my crazy family. Dad was a genius on the stock trading platform, and Mom was Miss World in 1998. I loved my family, but they were so used to being spoiled that our entire lives revolved around money. Once when I was 7, I wanted to go camping. So Dad hired a set designer to create a camp set in our massive backyard. He also hired a weird mountain man to entertain us with stories and how to make a campfire.
Who wants to hear a bear story?
I do! But my sister Cassidy, who was 2 years older than me, had her head stuck in her phone, so so our camping experience eventually got boring. And soon after, as I grew up, our family hardly spoke to each other. When I was at school, I was crowned the computer genius. Cassidy was popular on social media, and we were both the hottest girls in school. Once when I was in 8th grade, 10 boys asked me and my sister out all at once. These boys were so lame and too desperate for our liking. Cassidy and I had a checklist. The guys that we dated needed to be smart, rich, and hot. I wasn't worried so much about the rich part. I preferred intelligent guys, and in my school, all of them were rich, but also total Smurf brains. And then one day when I was in the 11th grade, a new boy joined our school and took my title of computer genius. I was kinda jealous at first, but when he smiled at me, I melted, having a huge crush on him. Would you like to go out for ice cream sometime?
Will we be celebrating my new title in the school?
Don't rub it in. After that, Gregory and I became an item. He drove a Ferrari and seemed much richer than my family because he lived in a mansion much bigger than mine. Once when I was in the 12th grade, I decided to visit him at his house unannounced, and when I got to his house, his parents acted very weirdly. I'm here for Greg. Oh, he's upstairs. Okay, can I see him? When they finally let me in, I went to Gregory's room and found him busy with something on his computer. Greg?
What? Who let you in?
I'm sorry, I thought I would surprise you. He looked really angry.
I hate surprises. Don't ever come here without calling first.
I was so mad at him when I left, I felt like just breaking up with him. But then he came over to my house with flowers.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have snapped at you. Please forgive me.
I don't know. You acted so strange. What was more important than me?
I was actually planning a surprise trip for the both of us to Thailand.
I immediately forgave him. He was so romantic, and he obviously loved me since he was spending so much on me. We went to Thailand just for the weekend, and my parents liked Gregory, so they also trusted him. While we were there, Gregory was all romantic at first, but then he changed when I wanted to go shopping for clothes.
Did you bring your credit card to pay for all those clothes?
What? But you said to take whatever you want and you'll pay.
Yeah, but I didn't expect you to buy the entire store.
Lucky for me, I did have my dad's credit card and managed to pay for my stuff. But the next day, I woke up to a shock. Gregory was gone. He left a note along with my plane ticket back home. He broke up with me on a note, saying, "Nice knowing you, goodbye." What a jerk! I felt like my world was falling apart. Why would he break up with me this way? When I tried to call his number, it went to voicemail. I had to gather my strength and head back home, and maybe then find out why he suddenly just left. Could it be because of all the clothes I bought? But when I got back home, my family was on edge. Everyone was pacing up and down, and as soon as I entered, Dad rushed up to me.
Meryl, where's my credit card? Someone hacked all my trading accounts using my credit card, which is linked to every other account. So Meryl, you have to tell me where that credit card is.
I was totally freaking out and tore my whole bag apart looking for that card. And then I asked Dad to take me to Gregory's house. And when we got there, his mansion was empty. Oh my God, Dad, I think Gregory took all our money. Dad looked at me silently. At first, I thought he was gonna blame me since Gregory was my boyfriend, but all he did was remain quiet. But Mom and Cassidy went berserk.
We are broke because of your scheming, scamming boyfriend?
How was I supposed to know he was a fraudster? He drove a Ferrari and you liked him, Mom.
Yeah, I did, but he was still your boyfriend.
You should have analyzed his intentions. And then Cassidy looked at her phone and screamed like someone died. Ah! What happened? The Wi-Fi isn't working. How am I supposed to post my selfies from this morning?
Oh, I was supposed to pay for that today, but not anymore. Girls, I'll be in my office. I have no idea how I'm gonna fix this.
I felt like everyone blamed me for this, and after 2 weeks, all our maids, chefs, butlers, drivers, gardeners, and pool cleaners quit because we couldn't pay them. Dad soon started investigating the matter, which was going to take some time. So we all had to adapt to some changes in our overly expensive lifestyle. We managed to keep the house, and since Dad paid our school fees for the entire year, Cassidy and I didn't have to change schools, which was a relief. Okay, so at school, nobody knows we're poor, so let's just try and keep it that way. Of course, why would I want anyone to know that we're poor? Maybe because it's all your fault? I am sick and tired of everyone in this family blaming me for everything. That's just so much pressure. I started crying and Cassidy felt bad and apologized. Okay, I'm sorry. but our life just sucks so much right now. While we sat sulking about our poverty-stricken life, we heard Mom scream from the kitchen.
Somebody help!
Cassidy and I ran down to the kitchen and found the stove on fire and Mom trying to put it out with a tablecloth, and it was reaching for the ceiling.
Ah! It won't stop! Quickly, get some water!
While Cassidy thought a glass of water would help, I brought the fire extinguisher and, thank God, was able to put out the fire. But now our entire kitchen was ruined and there was smoke all over the place. We gotta sit outside until the smoke is gone. Come on. We all sat outside on the stairs and Mom was in tears, telling me how she was trying to cook but ended up ruining the kitchen. I guess we'll have to order food. I hope they give us some discount. Right then, Dad came in, all smiles.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, did you get our money back? Mom ran to Dad, smiling like a clown.
Nope, I found a job. I'm going back to selling insurance, and once I make some good commission, I'll start trading again and get all the money that we lost.
Well, Dad's plan didn't follow through the way he saw it. 3 months went by and we were still struggling, and the only thing Dad could afford was food, so I decided it was time to get a part-time job as a waitress. But Meryl, if you work as a waitress, everyone in school will know. Yes, I know. But maybe if I work, I can help Dad pay for the Wi-Fi. Cassidy immediately smiled, but she wouldn't dare try to get a job since she cared so much about what people would think. The restaurant I worked at was a classy place where all the rich and mighty dined. And one day, while I served a bunch of top-class businessmen, I overheard their discussion about new digital devices. I got excited and couldn't contain myself. I have plenty of ideas for new devices. Imagine having a portable hard drive, something almost like an iPod but with more space. That way, users will be able to carry all of their important information on one small iPod. We could even make it have a video presentation for business meetings. After I was done babbling, they looked at me stunned. Then the tall man with the big forehead was so rude.
You can just get our order, please.
I walked away feeling embarrassed. And then the next worst thing happened. When I waited at my next table, they were girls from my school who envied my sister and me all the time. And the worst of them all was Charlotte. Wow, you work as a waiter? This must be my lucky day. Wait, I have to take a picture of this. Oh, Charlotte, get over yourself. I work here and earn my own money, unlike you, a spoiled brat forever. That's no way to talk to your customers. Where's the manager? I want to file a complaint. He's out to lunch. So, can I take your order? It was the most dreadful day of my life. But the next day when I went to school, everyone called me Waiter Girl, since Charlotte posted my picture on Instagram. And during recess, while Cassidy and I were minding our own business, Charlotte started being so annoying with her stupid minions. We've noticed that you two bring lunches to school these days. Should we open up a charity fund dedicated to the richest in the school? Oh, let me rephrase. The poor, smelly girls of the school. Shut up, Chat Roulette. Cassidy got up angrily clenching her fists, and I calmed her down. Don't worry about her, Cassidy. She's just a jealous girl who has no goals. At least my goal is not to be a waiter. Yeah, your goal is probably to be a brainless peanut all your life since you get big fat zeros on all your tests. Charlotte eventually left us alone, but then after school, Dad picked us up in a run-down car, and Charlotte got the entire school to come and watch us get in it. Oh my gosh, where did your dad buy this junk from? At that point, I had had enough of Charlotte's farty face. So I pounced on her and she couldn't even fight back, so I let her go. Just leave me and my family alone. Our financial life is none of your business. Dad was shocked when we got home, and he told us that his contract at work was about to end. So he sold his Land Rover and got us a scrappy car. Life was getting even worse for us. I put on my waiter clothes and got out of the house to work an extra shift. While I was at the restaurant, I found my manager watching MSA. Wow, you like MSA?
Yeah, is that a problem?
No problem. I was just surprised.
There was a guy who came looking for you. He left his number.
When I called the number, a part of me was hoping it was Gregory calling to say he was sorry and he wanted to give us all our money back, but it wasn't. Hello? You were looking for me at the restaurant?
Yes, our investors liked your pitch that you suddenly decided to blurt out while you were serving our table. We have an offer for you if you could put all those ideas on paper.
Yes, I can. I left my extra shift, went home, and started putting ideas together for new devices. I didn't want to say anything to my family yet. I just wanted to get the offer first. The next day, I met with those business people again, and I was blown out of my mind when they told me I was going to get $100,000. I was on cloud 9. I immediately signed the contract, and they even asked me to stay in contact if I had any other ideas. I couldn't believe this was actually happening, and when I showed my family the check, we celebrated all night. Meryl, you just saved our lives. Does this mean we can get our chef back? Because I'm getting really tired of eating baked beans every day. Not just yet. Dad needs to first work his magic on the trading platform, and then maybe. I was so happy to see my family relaxed again. Cassidy wanted us to go shopping the next day since all of our heels were starting to lose their texture. 2 pairs and that's it, right? We need to use all this money wisely. Yes, I know. But what if I see a 3rd pair that I like? Cassidy, just before we could head off to the mall, Dad screamed from the living room.
Meryl, you have to see this.
When I went to check what he was talking about, the news was on and Gregory was handcuffed and sentenced to prison for the next 20 years for being one of the biggest fraudsters in the city. And the parents that he said were his parents were just actors. I felt so relieved, and Dad eventually got a call from the credit card company with good news. All his money would be returned. Soon after that, I completed school, got my degree in computer science, and became the next richest person in our city. And then one day, I even had my own business meeting at that classy restaurant. Can I take your order? Charlotte, you work here now? Yes, so can I take your order? I didn't laugh or insult her because there's really nothing wrong with being a waitress. We all have to start somewhere if we want to make it.